globalists in the European Union are following along with Canada using tariffs as an economic weapon and directing them at particular American citizens in areas of the country that supported President Trump to hurt these people financially with the specific goal to force these citizens into changing their votes. They're coming right out and saying this too. They're not even trying to sugarcoat it or hide it in any way, but directly telling the world that they are targeting America's electorate to influence our elections. Worse, they are targeting specific states where Donald Trump won by a slim margin to actually try and change the result of America's next elections. All Americans should be furious about this. And if you are on the left and do not see a major problem with a foreign country directly influencing American elections, may I remind you that it is the left that has basically split this country in half over the last 18 months because 13 trolls out of Russia worked on Facebook trolling people and putting out advertisements. This is much, much worse. And this is the government actually saying it, admitting to this, and planning it. I am making this video with my new favorite YouTube personality, Mike-Nificent's brother in mind. Mike-Nificent made a video on his YouTube channel last week that I recommend everyone go and check out. If you like my videos, you will certainly like his as well. Mike made a video about how his brother is a tremendously successful and smart man. But he has fallen under the disease of liberalism, otherwise known as Trump derangement syndrome. I thought to myself, if there is any way in the most recent events that can help show Mike's brother, as well as all liberals, how far off the reservation of truth they actually have strayed, it is this topic. A foreign power, in fact a group of many foreign powers, the globalists, whether they be from Canada or throughout the European Union, are committing an act of war against America. And they are doing it right now. And they're being loud and proud about it. And only because the left here in America has become so infected with this liberalism that they feel safe in doing so. Well, I am here to shout loud and clear that this is not going to be tolerated. Right and left, no matter our differences. Shouldn't all Americans be for our own sovereignty in democracy? The internal political differences that are happening inside of our country should stay inside of our country. Our argument should be in the family. And if you still can't comprehend what I'm saying, how about I put it this way? What if the globalists out of the EU and Canada were pro-Trump and anti-left, and they decided to place tariffs and other economic hardships onto Hollywood entertainment or any other left-leaning location in the country? Would you see it then as an act of war? Because that is what it truly is, an act of war. I like the fact that Donald Trump has stated that he is considering a 20% tariff as a response to this on automobiles. But I honestly don't think that's enough. Nowhere near strong enough. I think President Trump needs to first and foremost call out the EU and Canada for exactly what they are doing, which again is committing an act of war. They are doing this directly against Americans and America itself. And then he needs to end this war in one fell swoop. Place an embargo on automobiles entering America. Remember, Germany relies on almost 50% of their gross national product on exports of automobiles to America. That's right, 50%. An embargo onto their automobile industry would literally destroy Germany and their economy in 4 to 6 weeks. The German government would lose almost half of its tax revenue instantly, and at the same time, 30, then 40, then almost 50% of the German citizens would lose their jobs. This will increase the welfare payouts on the German government at the same exact time, and this will lead to German bankruptcy. And now consider that Germany is the European Union's strongest economy. The European Union will not be far behind and possibly fail, go out of existence. It is time to take the reality stick to these globalists who have had their egos and bravado get way too big. It is time to smack them back down to earth. And by calling out exactly what the European Union and Canada are doing here as an act of war, there can be no more BS arguments about breaking WTO trading laws. Screw Canada. By taking their auto industry away, most of the cars made in Canada are actually made by American manufacturers. So by calling this an act of war, placing an embargo on these cars, and giving these companies no other choice but to bring their factories back to America, this will help the American heartland, the areas the EU and the Canadians are targeting for financial hardship, will actually reverse that situation and build them back up. We need to help Detroit, and nothing will help Detroit more than a factory producing cars. At the same time, this will destroy the Canadian auto sector permanently. And by placing an embargo onto European Union automobiles, this will devastate the German economy and domino out to all of the other European Union states in such a way it just may completely take down the European Union once and for all. And that will teach the world a major lesson. By committing an act of war against America, you are committing suicide. Whether it be economic suicide, like in this case, or God forbid, in the future, someone commits an act of violence in an act of war here, we will respond swiftly and brutally. The USA ain't nothing to mess with. And if you make that mistake, you will be destroyed, should be the lesson of the day. This is what has been missing from the world for over 60 years, and why the world has not only taken advantage of America, but feels confident and safe in doing so. Well, I truly believe that the globalists have finally pushed too far, and it is time to strike back hard and strike back in a way that if they ever do recover, these globalists don't ever dare doing something like this again. It is time for the American people to wake up to the fact that America is under attack by globalists, and it is time to defeat them once and for all. And if you don't believe me, please take 5 minutes and go watch my previous video on the communist and socialist rules for revolution. Clear your mind of bias and honestly think about what's been happening here in America over the last 50 years. With the degradation of our morality, with the degradation of our children's ruggedness, and apply these rules for revolution to the reality of American life. You will see it clear as day that what I'm saying is the truth. Wake up, America. Wake up. Remember, we are not the black, the white, the red, the yellow, and the brown America. We are the United States of America, and together we are strong. Together we are free, and it is together that we hold the world's destiny.